Hey, Shalom. Yahweh Shem Al Brakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Alatah Ba Shem Al to the sisters. I'm also a 500 Yaquatsa under Commander Jen Yohana. And this is the One West Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. And our duty is to teach Black, Hispanics, and Native American brothers and sisters their heritage and identity and how we're supposed to conduct ourselves in keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments so that we make our nation of people great again. Now, our people claim to say they believe in God, they believe in the Most High, they love Jesus, but the problem is, though, is that we're not doing the things required to love the Most High or love Jesus, as they call it, the world, though. And the reason why I'm bringing that out, though, is that we wonder why terrible things happen in our lifetime and why we're always getting redlined, the first hired, last fired, and all types of bad afflictions going on with our people is because that we always claim to say the Most High got to be on our side, and we quote unquote pray to, but we're not doing anything what the Most High says. And I'm going to show that at this point, though, that in the Bible, the Lord informed Moses that what will happen to us if we disobey the Lord, if we break his commandments, right? And I'm gonna go to the first precept, though, to show you that like we are required to keep commandments, and then I'm gonna show you what happens if we disobey the Lord, right? Because we keep saying that the laws are done away with, though, but that's not true. Let's go to 1 John. I believe it's 4. Barely. 1 John. All right. I'll start with 1 John chapter 2, verse 4. He that saith, I know him, because again, what I brought up earlier, though, is that like our people say they know the Most High and the Lord is in us, though, and the blood of Jesus in me and all that, though, right? And keepeth not his commandments, meaning nowhere in the Bible it says for you to go to church on Sundays, right? So that's not what the Bible says. Nowhere in the Bible where it's lawful for us to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, right? Nowhere in the Bible where it says for us to be a sexual deviant or live an alternative lifestyle. Nowhere in the Bible where it says for us to have grudges and have conflict towards our own people, Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. So the Lord's against all that. So if we for a brother or sister to claim that they know him and keepeth not his commandments is a liar. So according to God, though, if we say we know the Most High, but we keep not none of his commandments, is a liar. And the truth is not in him. That's first and foremost, right? Verse 5, but whoso keepeth his word, meaning for Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians who keep the instructions, laws, commandments, and the orders of the Most High, right? And him verily is the love of the Most High perfected, right? So first and foremost, Christianity in America loves to say that we can't be perfect. That's not true. According to the Bible, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and following what the Lord requires us to do is what keeps us perfect. Keeping the law, statutes, commandments is that so you don't lose your life. Let's make that clear, right? Hereby know we that we are in him. Exactly. Right. So I'm gonna go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? because it speaks about what happens when we disobey the Most High. Right, 28. I believe it will be Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Right. So right here in the book of Deuteronomy, this gonna speak about what happens when we disobey the Most High. What happens when we break His commandments? What's the consequences and what's the repercussions for not doing what the Most High requires us to do? Right. And this what Moses is saying, right, in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou were not hearken, which means to listen, right, unto the voice of the Lord thy power, right, to observe and to do all His commandments. It don't say some. It don't say pick and choose what commandments to do and what not to. It says to observe first and foremost and do all His commandments, right? And His statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right. Matter of fact, before I even get to that, though, I'm gonna go to the book of Ecclesiastes and show you something, that the Lord is not here to play games, right? Because there's consequences, repercussions, and curses that we face, though, for not obeying the Most High. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10, I recall, or is one of them. Bear with me. Right. It will be Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 6, right? So we're going to go to the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 6. All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners. So I just want to bring that out. First and foremost, though, the God of the Bible hates sinners for any of our people that have understanding. So that's just to let you know that the Lord actually hates. And in this context, what does the Most High hate? The sinner. And so I'll read it again. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly. So for Blacks, Latinos, and African American Indians, if you're ungodly, you will receive curses from the Most High. You will definitely receive curses from the Most High if you're being ungodly. And keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. So you may not receive the punishment now, but you may receive the punishment later on if you don't repent, change your ways, change your thoughts. So let me see if I can find this precept real quick. I think it's in the book of John. Speaking of the curses of what happens when we disobey the Most High, and that's a terrible thing to do. And we can't say we love the Most High and want the Most High to give us, though, if we continue to disobey Him. That's not how that works. Here we go. If I may, let's go to St. John or John chapter 9, verse 31. Baba Kusha. and we'll read. All right, this will be the book of John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners. Right. So if you are breaking the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, if you are having conflict against your own brothers and sisters, blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, if you are spreading false rumors or um, causing a lot of confusion among our people, then the Lord will absolutely ignore your prayers when it's the perfect time to pray, or if you need any favor from the Most High. Why does it say that? Because um, again, that's another curse that the Lord will bring out to us, though, right? John 9:31. Now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners. He's going to ignore you, ignore your prayers. If anything, if you continue to be a sinner and break the Lord's commandments, if anything, if you got the need of the Lord, He's going to act like you don't exist. But if any man be a worshiper of the Most High and doeth His will, him He heareth, though. So it's the reason why we got to obey the Most High and keep the commandments and do what's required of Him. And if you need any counseling or assistance with that, though, you can always call any captain or officer from any zone or any school, and we can assist you with the proper counseling you need to be in the right spirit of the Most High. So at a time when you are at a low state, mentally or even physically, though, and if you're obeying the Most High and keep the commandments, the Lord can actually hear your prayers. So that's something important we know. Now we're going to jump back to the curses and why I brought those precepts out, though, because we got to understand, though, we receive tremendous amounts of curses from the Most High because we want to be sinners, and and as long as blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians become sinners, the Most High will ignore our prayers. The Most High said out of John 9:31, He heareth not sinners. The Lord don't pay attention to us, though. So if something terrible was to happen with us, though, because we are disgusted sinner, though, the Lord doesn't really care. He ignores it. The Lord's gonna um, pretend like we don't exist. Also, what I read out of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 6, that the Most High hateth sinners. So if you are breaking the Lord's commandments, the Lord hates that. And if you don't repent and get back in the right spirit, the Lord's going to judge you or curse you. Right. So we're going to read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 again, what Moses is saying about these curses. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken or listen to the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right now in 2026, though, in America, and then all throughout the earth, though, blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, as a collective, as a whole nation, are suffering through these curses. So it doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor or you quote unquote what they call the middle class, which that technically does not exist in this society. No one, right? You're still cursed as a black, Latino, Native American Indian, because we are um, facing the punishment of our forefathers that disobeyed the Most High for hundreds of years and thousands of years through different dynasties and empires. And we are those same forefathers and ancestors that lived back in the Roman Empire, Greek Empire, uh, Babylonian, Persian, Assyrian, all the way up to the Egyptian Empire. So that's why it's important that we learn the Bible, which is our history book, and history makes us teach us a lesson to learn from the dead. Like even like real quick though, what a sidebar. Even in the movie Remember the Titans though, Denzel Washington brought something out real heavy though, that he said that take a lesson from the dead. Because and why is that important though? Because our ancestors and our forefathers are dead right now, and we're the new offsprings, right? We want to take a lesson from our forefathers and ancestors that lived back in those different empires and dynasties, though, because we don't want to make the same mistakes as they did. We don't want to repeat the same mistakes over and over and over. That's a terrible, bad habit to do. Now I'm going to read the curses that's happening to us today in 2026 in America and throughout the earth, though. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16, cursed shalt thou be in the city. So in every city, though, there's drugs infested, there's gang banging, there's prostitution, there's whoring, there's pimps, there's sexual deviancy, there is PDFs, um, there is police that want to unlive Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians and the hoods and projects, right? Or abuse them. And there's all sorts of terrible things going on in every city, major or minor city, that goes against Blacks, Latinos, and American Indians. That these are curses, right? And curse shall thou be in the field. So whether you're Black or Latino, Native American Indian that lives out in the reservations, or if we live out in the country on the boondocks, though, the curses apply to our people that live out there too. It's no different. The sheriff is go abuse us. The sheriff is go unalive us. Who else? You got racist. A lot of racist oppressors that live out in those boondocks and country areas that can do crimes towards our people or abuse us, or oppress us in some type of way, right? And even back with the city though, you know what I'm saying? Like living in the city though, you know what I'm saying? We curse financially and employment wise, you know what I'm saying? We the first fire, last hired, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the field. If we live in the country in the boondocks, it's no different. Verse 17, curse shall be thy basket and thy store. Right. Again, if we want to own a store, right? We got a business license from the oppressor or the white man. What happens? We ain't got a proper license for it though. They shut the store down. Uh, Even if we did own the store though, guess what? A lot of our people hate us because we are discursed right now. We decide to disobey the Lord though, and by a lot of Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians having conflict towards another though, it's so difficult for our own people to purchase merchandise from business owners of Blacks and Latinos and Native American Indians because we hate each other. We have conflicts towards. We can't seem to get along though, and we going through the same oppression in these same neighborhoods and ghettos. But we so quick to go and the stores that the other nations have though, like the Chinese restaurants or the white man's grocery stores and all that though. I mean, you got to buy groceries to eat though, but like we in that curse too. We in the curse though because they own all the products and the supplies. You see what I'm saying? And they have the finance. We get redlined, we get revoked through a lot of things. Because we are in these curses right now. So we got to understand that this is what happens when we disobey the Most High and break His laws, statutes, commandments. There's more to it, right? What does it say for verse 18? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 18. Curse shall be the fruit of the body and the fruit of the land, the increase of the kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Right. We once had farmland, right? But the oppressor find ways to take away our property and farmland and cattle, right? A lot of us can't grow crops out where we live at. because they make it illegal. Also, the oppressor did something else diabolical. At one point in time, right, during the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, we used to have fruit trees somewhere in downtown Buffalo, and then a lot of areas by close by downtown Buffalo, even by the projects though, in the areas, it used to be a lot of fruit trees that grew up though, like cherry trees and um pear trees and peach trees and things of that nature though. And what happened was like the oppressor did something to contaminate the soil. Now nothing grows. You know, you can't. Not now. You really have to go to the grocery store and buy fruit and buy right fruits and vegetables, because when the fruit trees used to grow in those areas though, we were able to get them for free. You know, and now the soil is contaminated. You can't really grow anything. And then besides, if you was able to grow anything, you got to get some type of license or something like that. That's another curse though, because a lot of these things you got to do to be successful. You got to get a license from the white man or oppressor though, or you go to jail and they take it from you. Like, you got to have a license to get a barbershop. That's a curse. You got to have a license to get a gun. I mean, I can understand that part to a certain extent, though. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, we all have the right to self defend and protect them. You got to have a license to drive, and that's understandable to depend on, because everybody don't need to drive and everybody don't need to have a gun, or a rifle. Because that's like go head to head, depending on circumstances. But far as like this though, here's another thing that's a big curse. You gotta have a license to have a bar to go to cut hair, right? That's another thing. Because back then when I was a kid, you didn't need a barber license to cut hair. Now you gotta have a license to sell candy or sell lemonade. That's diabolical, because I used to sell candy. I used to sell candy bars and stuff like that. We didn't have to have a license to sell candy bars back in the early 2000s. I remember. Now you gotta have and I'm gonna say it again, you gotta have a license to sell lemonade. That's crazy. That's madness. Or they shut down your lemonade shop or your baked goods shop or whatever you do. Right? You gotta that's these are all types of curses for disobeying the Most High and thinking that the Most High is on our side when he's not. He's going to ignore you, and he's doing that for a reason, because the Most High is an outstanding Father. Whatever the other races of people or nations doing, let them do it. But if we partake in anything that goes against the Most High, curses will be in blacks until those never break edges. Right. Verse 19, curse shall thou be when thou comest in, and curse shall thou be when thou goest out. So that's like when you travel, though, we go through a lot of situations. Though we a lot of times we may get pulled over for no reason, and it happens. That's a curse, because the oppressors in the other nations are actually against us, or the white man's actually against us. Right? Verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine into hand for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. See, a lot of these terrible things happen with our people, though. Even let's say, like, some of us may be born mentally retarded. You know what I'm saying? Some Black, Latino Americans may be born mentally retarded. That's a curse. That's another curse. Some of us is born disabled in a certain way. Sometimes blind, sometimes deaf. Sometimes some abnormal dysfunction with some of my people. Though those are actually curses, though, because 9 times out of 10, is either we're suffering something that our forefather did um, in the past, or something we did when we were living back in the past. So, so it's either or. Somebody got to pay for the crime. Either or. That's why we say that nobody can escape judgment from the Most High. If you did something in the past that was again the Lord was against, and He didn't punish you for it though. He's going to punish you in the next lifetime, or He'll punish your children in the next lifetime. Either way, somebody's got to pay the price. That's how it works. Verse 21: The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto you until you have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. Right. So this speaks about bugs, right? Oh yeah, flagged and redlined and denied from a lot of opportunities when it pertains to housing. This could be pertaining to public housing, community housing, right? Like the oppressor would give us something that's infested with like roaches or bed bugs, things of that nature. They give us something that's really cheap though, and I'm quite sure most people do not want to live in an apartment or a house that's infested with roaches or bed bugs, right? Where we at? I'm gonna jump into 68, right? It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, when the Most High is speaking about Egypt, He's not talking about the physical land of Egypt. He's talking about this is spiritual. You know what I'm saying? This is a spiritual Egypt, though, with ships, though, because you can't go to Egypt with ships, though. So the Most High was referring that we would go to uh, America with ships, though, which is spiritual Egypt. America with ships, though, the slave ships, though, that the Arabs built, right? That the white Jewish man financed, and the white pilgrims put us in chains, right? The African selling blacks and remnants of the Latinos to the slave ships and the Haitians as well. And that's a very bad, terrible curse, though. Why? Because we disobeyed the Lord. We did not want to keep the commandments of the Most High. We want to serve other gods and live how we want to live. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. And again, the Most High, when He did that, though, that was a spiritual belt to the ass, a spiritual belt to the ass to send nations that are weaker and inferior than us to conquer us and put us in these conditions. That's what happens, especially the white race or the oppressors, the most inferior race out of all. Thou shalt see it no more again. So for a very long period of time, though, we have not seen uh, Jerusalem, which is our homeland. Again, we have not seen it no more again. And where ye shall be sold unto your enemy. Right. Exactly. Like I said before, though, the native Nigerians or the Ugandans or the Kenyans or any native African sold our people to the oppressors or the pilgrims or the white race. They sold, right. Because on the old slave auction boards, it shows that Africans sold Negroes. Negroes and Africans are two different nations, races of people. Uh, the majority of blacks in the Americas are the so-called Negroes, or the tribe of Judah, or the tribe of Yahweh in Hebrew. And we have so-called Black Americans or blacks, remnants of blacks scattered throughout the earth, though. They could be remnants of our people in Africa, remnants of people in Jerusalem, remnants of our people in Europe, remnants of our people in Russia, um, Australia, Japan, Vietnam, China, India, remnants. But the majority of our people is in the Americas, North, Central, South, and Caribbean islands, you know, for sure. And sold you to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, right? Right. Bond means be slave, and no man shall buy you, right? So no man has redeemed us yet, because we can see it obvious today, because more and more of our brothers and sisters are still getting incarcerated. More and more of our brothers are still getting unalived or abused by the oppressors or the other nations. Right? We see on the news though the guy live one of our brothers. I think he was I think the brother was 15 years old, something like that, down in South Carolina. Another thing, another brother doing 35 to life though, or something like that, you know. But either way, 35, that's a long ass fuck. Excuse my French, you know. And justice wasn't served on them. And the brother down in Texas was trying to protect himself. You know what I said? I thought we had the right to self-defend or protect ourselves though. I guess, you know what I said? It, it just shows that blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians are still in the curses because we decide to disobey the Lord, you know. And we wonder why the oppressors or the white people are not getting punished like that, because the Lord is not dealing with them right now. The Lord did not give them the law, statutes, commandments. You know, or any other nation. There's going to be a time when the Most High is going to judge the white race, the oppressors in the other nations. But right now, blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, we need to get it together. We need to obey the Lord, keep the commandments, and forgive one another, and be righteous towards one another, and stop acting silly 24/7. You got to focus, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 2:14. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? That's a rhetorical question from the prophet Jeremiah, though. Is Israel like is blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians a servant in this country or throughout the earth, though? Is we homeborn slaves? Why are we still spoiled, though? Why are we still abused by the criminal justice system in America? Why are we still being abused by these other nations like the Chinese or the East Indians or the Arabs or the Africans? Why are we still being spoiled? Why are we still last hired from a job, first fired? Why are we still redline or backlash from a lot of opportunities that's available? You know, I'll tell you why. Because blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, um, we hard headed as a nation. Though. We don't want to pick up this Bible and learn it from a priest and prophet of the Most High under Commander Junior. We don't want to do what the Lord instruct us to do. We don't want to get in order. We want to do our own thing. We want to live how we want to live. We want to have fun 24/7. We want to take life as a joke. See, and that's why, as long as we want to continue to take life as a joke, though, it will be more brothers like the one brother down in Texas that's doing 35 to life. You know, uh, because he tried to protect his life from an oppressor or a white boy. It's going to be more Asians unaliving our brothers and sisters from a corner store over some BS, over something that's not even necessary. It turned out in the story the brother didn't even steal the water. He actually put it back. You know, the Chinese or the Asian guy chased the brother out the store, chased him off his shoes too. So the woods is still unalive. That's crazy. And we did not get no justice for that at all. They say he was innocent. And I'm gonna say it again: the brother that trying to protect himself from the white boy, though they say he was guilty. So why is that though? Because we still decide to be servants. We still love America. We still want to vote Democrat or Republican. We still want to depend that white people can deal with our problems. Let me make it clear: the white race or no other race don't give a damn about your nigger problems. They don't give a damn about your spick problems. They don't give a damn about your wetback problems. And I'm saying this out of love though, because Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians need to uh, gather themselves together, gather themselves, O nation, not desire, like Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1 says, expeditiously. So we could be in the right spirit of the most high. Right? I'm gonna drop down to 21. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine. Who's the noble vine? You Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. We the noble vine. We are people of royalty. We the greatest people to ever exist on the earth, though. Right? Facts. Holy a right seed. But we the most definitely right type of seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? See, the white race are degenerates. The Africans, the Arabs, they're degenerate because the laws, the statutes, commandments is not given it to them. Uh, why am I bringing this out though? Because as long as Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians continue to act like a degenerate or act like a heathen, curses upon curses will still continue to destroy our people individually and as a nation. We keep pissing off the Most High, and we as a nation we seem to not get it though. But sometimes it takes certain rude awakenings to be like, for a lot of our people to be like, what? Let me try something else though. We tried Christianity, we tried Islam, we tried Egyptologists, we tried Buddhism, we tried atheists, we tried to be quote unquote spiritual, but none of that stuff happened. We didn't try this, the truth of the Bible, which is the God of Israel, the God of niggas, and also we got to get it taught by genuine priests and prophets of the Lord. That would be the men under commanding Jenny Hunt and the ISUPK, right? So with that, where we at? Where we at right now? For another precept. Let me see. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Hmm. Hmm. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So, like, why does oppression for a lot of our people out in these neighborhoods, projects, and gutters make us mad though? You know what I'm saying? Us being financially oppressed and things of that nature though. You know, we can't be able to pay our bills. We can't put food in our mouth. We can't put clothes in our back. We can't do the activities that we want to do. We can't be able to save enough money, things and that, stuff like that. And right, because we are at these curses though for disobeying the Most High, right? And the gift destroyeth the mind. And why is the Lord bringing that out? Because we may be oppressed as a nation though, but the oppressor what convince us to do things that we normally don't do for a bag or for a quick buck though, which means selling our soul, and that can fall into the philosophy of the religions of other gods, or doing things something that's diabolical, or selling ourselves out, or and also falls into betraying against our own people just to be famous or to receive the bag, things of that nature, though. We got a lot of traitors in our nation of people, though, and a lot of times they entertainers, athletes, politicians, and of course your Christian pastors. The gift destroys the mind, the heart. Because when it's speaking about your heart, it's talking about your mind. And that's another curse that we got a lot of traitors among our people, though. They rather receive the bag and go against their people than to fight with their people, fight for their people, fight with their people, and be righteous with the Lord, so that the Most High can reward us an outstanding gift, though. So we want to be careful with that, though. That's another curse, though, among our people, though. Because we understand that oppression will make us mad, though, especially a wise man that's wise enough to stand for his people, and that's wise enough to be in righteousness and obey the Lord, and wise enough to build and raise his nation of people. Right. Where we at? Let's go to James 1:8. This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's a lot of our people. That's why curses, the Lord bring out curses to our people, because this ain't nothing new. Like in today's society, though, it was no different back in the times of old, during the ancient times, hundreds of years, thousands of years. Hello. A lot of our people want to be double-minded, say we can love the Most High and obey the Most High, though, but we turn around and do the whole opposite. We say we serve the Lord, but serve it Allah or Caesar Borgia, or we say we love our people, though, but sleeping with somebody outside the race. We say we love our own people, though, but still have grudges against each other or somebody. That's being double-minded. We can't do that. Or gossip about a lot of our people, though. We can't continue to do that. That's bad. So we can't. The Lord can't deal with a double-minded man or woman. That's how curses being part of people for being double-minded. What's the other one? Proverbs 11:1. I'm gonna break that one out. I think it was Proverbs 11:1. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Right. Right. Yeah, a false balance, is disgusting to the Most High, but a just weight is his delight. Right. See, we can't be a naysayer. We gotta keep it real. You gotta be, we can't be halfway stepping in. We can't be double-minded. Right. The Lord's against that, because you gotta either be hot or cold. We can't be lukewarm. Right. It's because if we not all the way with the Most High, then we have false balance, or we unstable, and the Lord's against that. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage. So why is Jeremiah bringing that out, though? Because at that time, for us wanting to disobey the Lord brought that the curses for our people to discontinue from our heritage. America is the only empire and the first captivity where we truly got discontinued from our heritage. You know how? Because we claim to say that we African American, well, that's two different continents off of two different white people. We claim to say that we Puerto Rican though, and the word Puerto Rican means rich port. That's derogatory. You know, see, all 12 of our tribes got these different bywords, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Native American Indian, well, the word Indian means savage, you know, that's another byword. We discontinue from our heritage, though, because that's a major curse on our people for disobeying the Most High, right? So, again, that the Lord being a outstanding father, the father that he is, who gave blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians as a nation a spiritual belt to the ass, but disobeying that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies. Right. Again, another spiritual belt to the ass whooping. Now we ain't just serving the oppressors or the white man. We serving the Arabs at their corner store. We serving the gas station stores or the uh, donut stores or coffee stores. We serving the Chinese people at their restaurants or their nail shops. That's another spiritual belt to the ass whooping from the Most High for us disobeying our people. We can't have shit. It's like we can't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because because we decide to disobey the Lord, and that's a curse. You know, and us even open up our own door is still like twice or three times as difficult, and they still find redlining and all types of ways to get rid of it or destroy it, or you know what I'm saying, or confiscate whatever we got going on. You see what I'm saying? Right. We can't have nothing. Be, and again, you know, it's good that we can have businesses, though. That's fine, though. But if we go own a business and be a businessman or be a businesswoman and make that money, though, is best to have the Most High on our side and keep the Most High in our spirit and do what the Most High requires of our people to do. Because you know, if not, though, the Most High can take all that from us. He can take the business, take all the money from us. You see. Serve thy enemies. I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou not knowest. The Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Native American Indians, Seminole Indians, Dominicans, and all the northern tribes got kicked out of Jerusalem first for serving different deities. That's a curse. For serving other gods. And our people discovered the Americans first. They was keeping a lot of customs, but still serving false deities. See what I'm saying? The so-called Negroes and Haitians and West Indians and Haitians um, were kicked out second. We got put in the cargo slave ships for disobeying the Most High, serving different deities, being or a whore or 3 or 4 for against the Most High. And we can't. When we do that, though, the Most High gets upset. The Most High gets jealous. Yes, because if we be a 3 or 4 or a hoe for the Most High, that means we serve another deity. We breaking the Lord's commandments. See, we also break the Lord's commandments. That's also falls in the philosophies of other deities that are bang and they're nothing. You know, like going to church on Sunday. Though that's a vague false day. The Most High Sabbath day is from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. That's his Sabbath day, not no goddamn Sunday. See what I'm saying? Right. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger. See, we pissed the Most High off. And that's why the Most High brought upon all these types of curses. See, we understand if we don't obey the Most High and do what he says us to do, the Most High is going to jack us the hell up. The Most High is not our buddy. The Most High is not your damn buddy. The Most High is a father. And I'm talking to you, Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. The Most High is a father. He will punish you. He will make your oppressors put you in prison for life. He'll make the oppressors unalive you. The Most High would have the power to do something to destroy your life if we keep playing with him. You know, the Lord is truly that nigga. He's the realest nigga. He's that nigga. So, you know, just for the record though, we need to fear this type of nigga and follow and do what he says. He's the type of nigga to be fair. The Most High, the God of Israel, for sure. Right. Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 8. Nehemiah. See what Nehemiah say. Oh, it's chapter 1. Okay. Just the book of Nehemiah, chapter 1, verse 8. Remember, I beseech thee, the word, the instructions that thou commanded by thy servant Moses, saying, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations. So, according to what Nehemiah is saying, he's bringing out something what Moses is saying in the past, right? That if we break the Lord's commandments or transgress, you know what I'm saying, the rules or the instructions for the Most High and want to do our own thing and still talking about so we love God and the blood of Jesus in our heart, though, the Most High is going to scatter us abroad. You know, that's why, for the record, though, like when we have kids, right, though, the Lord, the white man or oppressor still find a tactical way to divide us, though. It's called foster care. It's called child support, you know, to find some type of diabolical way to split us apart or separate our families, you know, because before, like in the past, though, they was doing it willfully. They was doing it like just openly, though, you know what I'm saying? Like when they had us in chattel slavery, you know, even in the present departments, you know, they still separate us and divide us and make us go against each other, you know. And this what happens. These are major curses when we disobey or transgress against the Most High. You know, we better quit playing with the Most High, for sure. Verse 9, but if ye turn unto me and keep any my commandments and do them, there were of you cast out into the uttermost part of the heaven, yet I will gather them from thence and will bring them into the place that I have chosen to set my name there. Now, this is why we're saying that we need to do what Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1 says, gather each other, old nation, not desire. Blacks, Latino, Native American Indians. Currently, right now, we are still the nation that's not desired because China has a Chinatown. East Indians have a Bollywood. You know, every nation to even break it out further, every nation besides us has their own military, they have their own government, they have their own land to go sources and farming to do. But Black, Latinos, Native American Indians, we got to get everything from all these different oppressors and these different heathen nations. Why? Because we choose to not serve the God of the Bible, you know. And when we the nigger God is going to curse us, you know, to destroy our mind, our spirit, and sometimes our body. So we got to understand who we dealing with, for real. Let's go to Revelations chapter 1 and 8. Let me see what John the Revelator is revealing. John. Oh, so not 1 and 8, 11 and 8. Salaki. Just the book of Revelations chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So why is John the Revelator bringing out though? Because today, right now, our people, Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, in all these different cities, though, we're dead bodies though, because the doctrine that we follow, we're drunk off the philosophy that America bringing out. We're drunk off the philosophy that we try to get from these Christian pastors or these our political leaders. We drunk them. That's why when the brother that got no justice for unaliving the oppressor because he tried to self-defend himself, though, nothing really came in effect, though. That's why when the Asian that unalived the brother in South Carolina at the store, though, over something that the brother didn't do, though, we didn't really get no justice, though, because we still yet spiritually dead, though. We like walking zombies. We like The Walking Dead. You know that movie, The Walking Dead? You ever see the movie The Walking Dead? Or what's the other joint called? Army of the Dead, things of that nature like that. Right. See, because we don't want to do what the Lord says. We don't want to keep the commandments. We want to serve other gods. We still think that Islam is the way when it's not. Islam is toilet paper. And again, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing personal against any of my brothers and sisters that follow that Islam though, but that Islam ain't doing nothing good, because that Islam is going to end up getting you destroyed spiritually, mentally, and eventually physically, you know, or any other. Same, especially with the Christianity. We keep serving that white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? White Jesus does not exist in the Bible. Revelations chapter 1, verse 13, 14, and 15 shows that Christ was a nigger out the Bible. He wasn't a white boy, you know. And it breaks out with this precept, though, for Revelation 11 to 8, though, because us being dead bodies, though, it's the main philosophy. It's the doctrine we follow. You know what I'm saying? We living, though, but we not living, though. We like walking zombies, you know. We spiritually dead, right? We're not physically dead. And if we don't change our ways and our thought process, we end up being physically dead. And the Lord don't want to do that to us, though. But the Lord, the Most High, is in charge. The Most High is the authentic shot caller. So by the Most High being a shot caller, the Most High shot calls us to get in this Bible and do what the hell He says is to do. Keep the law, statutes, commandments. Deal with our brothers and sisters righteously. Keep the feast days and keep the Sabbath holy. You know, whether you're resting or whether you're doing a Sabbath service or doing the work of the Lord. Right. So this that's something important we need to know. so that we don't become like walking zombies, you know, because if we continue to be walking zombies when America get destroyed by nuclear fire, though, we gonna be burnt zombies. And even we didn't, even if the nuclear fire don't destroy you, though, then Christ is gonna destroy you for not being the right spirit of the Most High. So it's important that we get this knowledge under command of Jenny Hanna and learn the truth, or learn how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. Seriously. Let's go to Numbers. No, not Numbers. Give me Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. Right. And Matthew's 5 at 13 speaks a lot about our people, though, but we don't but if we do what the Lord says, we would be exactly what this priest has said, and not be in these and not keep partaking in these curses. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing. Right. Here's the kicker, though, right? Blacks, Latinos, and American Indians are the most talented people on the earth, though. Whether it's sports, singing, rapping, dancing, cooking, um, swagging, you know what I'm saying? We got all that, though. But it's no good if we disobey the Most High. It's no good if we continue to disobey the Most High and be cursed, you know. We just be a swagging slave, you know, or a dancing, you know, whatever, you know, or you just be a damn slave that's got all the money but can't really do nothing, can't really do nothing. But to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot of men, right? Right. It's no purpose. It's no purpose to have millions of freaking dollars, but you are under the foot of the white man or any other nation of people, though. You know, they still, they still got you by the neck, though. They got like you got you're a freaking billionaire, though, but the white man still got you by the cojones, and you can't do a damn thing about it. See, that's bad. That's what happens when we disobey the Most High. That's a curse right there, you know. So we don't want that. This is the reason why we supposed to obey the Most High. Let's go to First Maccabees 1:25. Sure, man. Salakia. Can I get instead of that? Can I get First Corinthians chapter 12, chapter 12, verse 2? Just to stay on topic, though. That way I can bring it down. Right. And here's another reason why we are cursed from the Most High for when we disobey the Most High. Right. First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away from these dumb idols, even as ye were led. So uh, the Lord was calling us Gentiles because Gentile usually means stranger or just means stranger or sojourner. You know what I'm saying? Gentile's not a nation. It means stranger or sojourner. You know, Gentile usually can mean non-Israelite though, but depending on context, in this context, the Gentiles right here would be you blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the nation of Israel. The Lord is speaking to us though, because why? Because it says carried out the way these dumb idols, even as you were led. Because when Moses freed us though, we still want to follow at the Egyptians. A lot of our people still want to follow at the Egyptians. When uh, when Christ came to the scene, you had a lot of brothers and sisters that still wanted to follow after the Romans. In America in year 2026, though, we still want to claim to be Christians. We want to be Islam. We want to be Egyptology. We want to be quote unquote spiritual. We want to be Democratic. We want to be Republican. We want to be the mayor. You know what I'm saying? Not, but with that though, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that though, but it depends on how you deal with it though. Because if you're not being righteous with the Most High, then there's no point though. But my thing is though, following after philosophies and ideologies and worshiping false deities is is how like blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians become Gentiles. We living like a heathen and living the heathen state of mind, right? So if we are a heathen state of mind, though, more and more curses will happen upon our people though, for having a heathen state of mind and living like it. We gotta come out of this American Christianity heathen state of mind and um serve the God of niggas properly out of this Bible and do what he says us to do. You know, stop voting against a people that's going to further our oppression. You know, stop joining against a nation of people or other races of people that's going to continue to oppress us and abuse us and do away with us. You see what I'm saying? Right. We got to come out of that situation though. Jump into right. I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna skip it to 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 13. This seems pretty interesting. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body. Right. See, the Most High requires our people to be baptized into one body, and that would be the ISUPK under command of Jenny Hunter right now in 2026. Right now, and that's today. Whether we be Jews or Gentiles, because in the ISUPK, our job is to gather our brothers and sisters from the different neighborhoods, barrios, reservations, prisons, and cartels that's living a Gentile state of mind and get them in the right spirit. So we would not continue to be cursed and suffer curses from the Most High. That's why. That's why. Right. Whether we be bond or free, right? Whether we outside or we incarcerated in the jails or prison or holding centers, right? Doesn't matter. And have been all made to drink into one spirit. So that could be referring to like blacks, Latinos, and American Indians attending the Passover that's under commanding Jenny Hanna, drinking wine and eating lamb meat and being in one accord, right? Verse 14, for the body is not one member, but many. So that talks about the ISUPK having different zones in different states and throughout the earth, though. But we're all one body, though, because we all have one thought process. We all worship one God. We all believe in the same precise doctrine. We just teach it differently, but we teach the same thing, but break it down differently, though, and follow the same protocols and regulations and policies out of this Bible and follow the same current leader who is commanding Geniana so that we don't keep receiving these curses and bad bad disasters from the Most High. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to keep pissing off the Most High. We want to be on the Most High's good side, so the Most High can reward us. He can bless us. You know what I'm saying? Right. See if I can find one more precept, and then I'll end the class for today. Um, Hosea chapter 4, right? The, the, chapter 4, verse 6. Another precept to why we be cursed or when we disobey the Most High. Let's see it, what prophet Hosea is saying, had to say. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. And you see why we continue to be cursed by the Most High, because a priest and prophet of the Lord, under command of Jenny would bring out the truth to blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians out in the streets or anywhere where it's designated at, though, and our people reject it. And that's why the Lord is going to continue to curse our people until we get right, though. Because even in the past, though, Moses is doing the same thing in the prophets of old, but yet we continue to reject it. And you see why we're in a situation right now until we get right, though. I will also reject thee, and there shall be no priest to me. Right, right. The Most High is going to reject you, though. So when we bring out this truth, which is spiritual medicine for our people, and our people want to reject it, the Lord's go deal with them badly. The Lord's not playing games. Seeing thou has forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Right, because when we reject this truth, though, and do what we want to do, though, the Lord's go. I said before, though, the Lord is going to ignore a sinner's. A sinner's prayer is referring to blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians that wants to pray to the Most High, or call on the Most High when they in need of something. Right, but if we're not doing anything that the Most High says, though, the Lord is going to ignore our prayers. The Lord ignores sinners, the sinner's prayers, though. So it's important that we get in the right spirit of the Lord, keep the commandments, deal with each other righteously, and do the work of the Lord. I'm gonna and so that way we don't receive curses, and that way we could receive blessings and rewards for the Most High, not curses. That with that, I'm gonna call the security announcements for the class. Amajin, which means to stand. This is the ISUPK security announcements. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it after 6 months. If a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the tithes, which is commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Get to the general priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations. What we have here, we have the next holy convocation will be the memorial of blowing of the trumpets, first day of the 7th month, Friday, September 11th, 2026. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 through 26. Remind Akim Akwath to check bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, black shirt, black boots, black pants, black headband, black scarf. With that being said, let's give a courtesy salute to the teacher, which is myself, men of Israel, Amajah, which means to stand, men of Israel, Amad Shabbat, Amajah, Barak, Yahaba Hashem Yahashua Barakatah, Yazmatah, sorry, which means to turn, sisters of Akwathium, stand. For the sisters of Akwakim, have your right palm over your left palm like this, right? Men of Israel, right? Amad Shabbat, Amajah, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatah, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Yazmatah, Class dismissed.